So today I'm going to walk you through how to create an automated revenue generating blog website with no coding, no programming necessary, totally automated that generates content for you on the website while you're sleeping. In case you're new to the channel, I'm Dwight Taylor. Welcome to the Bezalel Consulting Group. We help businesses leverage AI and technology to streamline business processes and remove the manual, painful part of running technology in a business. So today we're going to talk about automating a blog website, right? We're going to use three different technologies. We're talking about Google Sheets. We're going to use a robot process automation platform called make.com. And we're going to use WordPress as our content management or our blog website platform. We're going to string the three technologies together in an automated unmanned process that doesn't involve manual intervention. And we're going to do it by leveraging AI. Okay, let's jump right in. First, we're going to go to make.com, the platform that we're going to build our no code automated blogging system. Okay, so here we are in the make.com, formerly known as Integromat user interface. What is make.com? Well, it's a robot process automation platform, or an RPA. What it allows you to do without coding and without having expertise in a coding language, it allows you to automate everyday processes across a number of different technologies using drag and drop simplicity, right? That's what we're going to do. So we're looking at the user interface here, and in make.com, when you put together a set of automations, it's called a scenario. So in order to create a new scenario, you simply click the create a new scenario button. That takes us to our blank canvas. Here's where we are. And in the blank canvas, you start with the initial, what make.com refers to as a module. So a module you can think of as a work of activity using some technology, right? In our case, we're using three different technologies. We're using Google Sheets, we're using OpenAI, we're going to use ChatGPT, and we're using our content management platform or WordPress, right? So those are the three different technologies. A module is a set of work that leverages a set of technology, right? That technology could be from make.com or some outside platform. In the Canvas screen, you also have the ability to name your scenarios. So when you create a new scenario, you can name it. So we're going to call our new scenario blog writer. Okay. All right. So there's our new scenario name, blog writer. And then we're going to start building our automation. Inside of the canvas, you can drag your modules to any place that makes sense, so it's visibly helpful to you when you're designing. We're going to use Google Sheets. In order to use Google Sheets, if this is your first time using Make, of course, you'll have to connect make.com to your Google Sheet. In order to do that, you simply log into your Google account, and I'll show you that in a second. You log into your Google account while in make.com, and then the integration between the two platforms is created. Okay. So as you can see here, there are a number of things we can do with a Google Sheet. Because we want to automate writing a blog article, what we're going to do is use a Google Sheet that has news articles from Google News. We're going to take each news article, generate a unique title for our new blog post, generate a new blog post, and then we're going to post that blog to our content management or our WordPress website. So in order to trigger this automation, right, creating a new blog post, we're going to start by looking for new rows that appear in our spreadsheet. In order to do that, of course, you have to connect to your spreadsheet. And as we mentioned, if this is your first time, you'll have to generate that connection. This is the dialog that you'll see in order to connect. And you can see here the previous name of make.com, Integromat. To connect make.com to your Google Sheet, you simply just log into your Google Drive. Okay. I'm already logged into mine. So then you can select the Google Sheet you want to work with using a variety of different methods. How do you search your Google Drive, right? We're going to do it by searching by path. And what that means is folders and file names within your Google Drive, right? So I'm going to use the feeds folder in my Google Drive. And within that folder, there is a Google Sheet called Google News, right? In the description below, I'll show you how I populated my Google spreadsheet with Google News. I'm doing that in an automated way. If you want to know how I did that, it's in the description below. Okay. So now that we have our Google Sheet, we've found it, located it in our Google Drive. It's asking us which tab within the sheet we want to use. I only have one, and it's the default name, Sheet 1. It then asks us, whether our sheet has headers or not. It does. And then how many rows do we want to pull when we access information inside of the sheet? Now, because we're creating in an automated way a blog post at a time, we only want to pull one row, right? So I'm going to change the 2 to a 1 here, and we say okay. Once we do that, Make.com now has a module, and you can see this module is no longer purple with the plus sign, right? It has a Google Sheet icon, and it has a timer on it. The timer is there to indicate that, this reflects this method down here, which is every 15 minutes. That's why there's a timer there. But we can change this. For example, you can do it at regular intervals. You can do it on demand. You could do it once a day. So you have some flexibility with how often you want to run this job. And you can also run it in an automated way where there is a event that fires and then it triggers this job. Right now, let's leave it at every 15 minutes. We're not going to schedule this in today's walkthrough, but just showing you that you can schedule it. Okay. All right. So we have one module connected to our Google Sheet. Let's run the module and see what happens, right? So we're going to run it, and we see we have output here. We ran our module. It pulled one row, and we can see that the row number that it pulled the second row from our Google Sheet. It has a title, a link, a description, and the source of the news article. So that module is working successfully, right? Our next thing we want to do is we want to take this article, we want to take this news article, send it into OpenAI, which is our large language model, allow AI to create a unique title for our new blog article, and then we're going to generate a blog article from that unique title, right? So the next thing we need to do is add a new module. You do that by clicking the plus, the smaller bubble next to your module, right? That'll add a new module, and then you select which technology you want to use, right? So we're going to choose OpenAI. Similar to our Google Sheets, right? If this is your first time using OpenAI with Make.com, you'll have to connect or integrate Make.com with your OpenAI account. Of course, Google Sheets is free. OpenAI, you can set up a free account. Once you do that, you'll have to get the API key from OpenAI that you then supply to Make.com. Okay. As you can see there's just like it was with Google Sheets, there's a lot of things we can do with OpenAI within Make.com. We're going to choose a chat completion, both for our unique title and for our blog article. And as a friendly reminder, within Make.com, I do recommend renaming your modules so you know what they do. And we'll do that in a second. So we're going to choose, we're going to create a chat completion. We're going to choose the AI or the large language model we want to use. We're going to use the latest model, which is GPT-4o. We're going to add a new message, specify the role that we want to use in completing this chat completion. And we're going to say user is the role we want to play. And then we're going to create a prompt. Now, I hope you noticed that when I clicked on the message prompt, a window opened. This window grants us the ability to use the information we pull from the row in our Google Sheet to actually provide that information to OpenAI so that it creates a unique title from the news article. And because we're creating unique content, we do need to specify that we're evaluating content from Google News or from the article itself, but we can generate unique content from the original news article, right? And so the way we do that, we're going to start by giving OpenAI a prompt or a role to play. You are an expert blog writer. After doing that, we're going to ask it to create a unique title for our blog post. So create a unique title for a blog post using this information. And then after the colon, what we'll do is you can click on these items to actually provide this information to your AI agent, right? So we're going to give it the title, we're going to give it the link of the article, and we're going to give it the description. So use all of this information to generate a unique title for our blog post. The final thing you need to do with large language models and with AI is specify how many tokens you want to use to generate content. So what's a token? A token essentially represents 30 to 40 characters of information. Okay. In the English language, that would be letters, right? And so we're going to use a maximum of 400 tokens, I think is appropriate for a title. Okay. And if we wanted to limit our title, we could instruct the model, through the prompt, instruct OpenAI to restrict the number of words in the title if we wanted to do that. I'm not going to do that for this example. And as I mentioned before, let's rename our module. So we'll rename this one Get the News, and we'll rename the second module Generate a Title. Okay. I'm going to run this again and see what our automation produces. So it pulled, we're on row 3 of our Google Sheet. It pulled the article and it generated a unique title. So within each module, there'll be input if you're providing input, and then there'll be output or what the module produced. When you investigate the output under choices, you can actually see what it produced. So here's our new title, right? So we've got a brand new unique title that we created. The next thing we want to do is create our blog article. We're going to sort of repeat the same steps we did here. Let's rename this unique blog title. There we go. And let's generate our new article. We're going to use a chat completion, OpenAI. Now with this module, we're going to choose the 4.0 system again, but in our prompt, we're actually, so the role is going to be user, and in our prompt, we're going to actually provide that unique title we provided. We're going to provide the description of the news article and the link for the news article, because we want our blog article focused on the title of the blog, right? Not necessarily the content from the news article. So again, you are an expert blog writer. Generate an 800 word blog post using the information, using the following information. Now, in this instance, because we're writing an entire blog article that we ultimately want to go onto a content management, an HTML based content management website, we're also going to instruct OpenAI or our large language model to write the article using HTML. In addition, we also only want the body of the article. We don't want the HTML page information. By default, if you tell AI to write an article in HTML, it'll give you a complete HTML page. But because we have a content management system, we don't need the external page elements. We only need the body of the article, right? So we're going to say that as well. But before we do that, we need to provide the information. So let's expand choice for our unique title that we generated. We're going to provide it with the unique title. And then from our Google Sheet, we're going to provide it the description and the link of the article. So those 3 pieces of information we're going to provide to our AI model so it can write a unique blog article for us. And then let's include the following instructions. Write the article using HTML, not markup, markup language. Also, do, let's say, only include the body of the HTML article. And we'll say everything after the opening H1 tag. The article, using some SEO best practices, the article should have only one H1 element. All right, so we've given it some brief instructions. Down in the description of this video, you'll find a link so you can get a more robust prompt, because we actually run this system ourselves. And so there's a more robust prompt in the description below. All right, and then we're going to tell it how many tokens we want to use, and we'll use the max tokens, right? We'll use 4,000, or somewhere near 4,000 tokens is the max that we can use with OpenAI. We'll say okay, and then we're going to run this module. We're going to run this automation and all three modules again. Remember, we're only doing 4 modules, so we're almost done with this automation. I know it's sort of unbelievable, right, that you can, without coding expertise, without knowledge of Google Sheets, without knowledge of OpenAI, without knowledge of WordPress, you can build an automation that creates a blogging system for you that you don't have to actually do anything, but it's entirely plausible. And that's what we're doing here, right? So let's run our 3 modules and see what it produces. So we've got our unique title. We've got our row from our Google Sheet. We have our unique title. And right now, OpenAI is generating our article. Let's make sure we take a look at it after it's done and make sure that it has adhered to the instructions that we provided. So let's open up our choice, the first item, the message, and let's take a look at the content. And I can tell right from the open that the content is what we asked, right? We asked for it not to include the full HTML page, only the body of the article, and start the body with an H1 tag and only have one H1 tag in the entire article. And as I look at this, I can see that it did exactly that, right? And so it's pretty lengthy. And now, since we have our article, we're ready to build the final module. The final module is going to take this article and the unique title and send it right into WordPress and create a new blog post. So in order to do that, let's add our 4th module. We're going to use WordPress and we're going to create a post. Now, just like the other 3 modules, if this is your first time connecting make.com to WordPress, in WordPress, you'll have to download a plugin, activate the plugin. The plugin will then generate for you an API key. The plugin is called Integromat in WordPress as of this writing, by the way. A video to show you how to do that will be in the description below. Okay, so we've already done that. And so we're going to create a new post. Now, what this will do is open up the window that allows us to specify where the information for our new post is coming from. And like we've done in some of the other modules, some of the earlier modules, when we click on title, we get access to our information. So the title is going to come from our unique blog title module, right? And so we'll expose choice, we'll expand message, and we'll choose content from that module. Our content, of course, is coming from the next module, which, by the way, we didn't give a unique name to. So it says OpenAI. We're going to choose choice. We're going to choose message, and we're going to choose content. There's our article. And you can see it starts with the H1 tag right there, right? All right. What type of content is it going to be on our content management system? It's a post. If we wanted to, we could have added a module to actually generate an excerpt from our full article. That's a paragraph or 2 that we could use as an excerpt. For date, we're going to use something in make.com that is an extension of the modules that you use. So they have these built-in functions that you can use, and one of them is now, right? So a timestamp of right this moment, right, when the automation itself runs. Our blog article is going to have a date of when the automation ran. Okay. And then within WordPress, there's the status, right? So you're creating a new blog post. And on any content management platform, when you're writing content, right, content needs to be reviewed. May want to put it in a pending status or a draft status, depending on your workflow and how you approve articles. But since we're automating this from start to finish, and we want it to run while we're asleep, we're going to publish our content, right? So that's the status we're going to put it in. When our automated process finishes doing what it's doing, creating this content, we want to publish that article to our website. You can also choose categories for your article. You can also choose tags. You can automate that as well. We'll choose the default author for our website, and you can also add a media item. Now, this is a number that represents the media ID of an image. So we won't do that because we haven't included that in our job. But so we'll say OK, and then we're going to rename this, keeping consistent with our naming, and we're going to say create blog article. And for this module, we're going to rename it to post article. All right, so now each one of our modules are named, and now it's time to run it and then test the output, right? Let's test the outcome. So we're going to run it from start to finish. We grabbed an article. It's row 5 of our spreadsheet. So, we've ran a couple of articles at this point. Our AI is now generating the blog. And then after it generates the article, it's going to post the article to our WordPress website. And if we look at the output from the WordPress website, it gives us one thing, and that is the ID of the article. So our ID for our new post on our content management website is 521. And the title is Salesforce Unleashes Autonomous AI Agents, ushering in the third wave of the AI revolution. So now let's go to our blog site and take a look at that blog post. Okay, so here we are looking at our blog website, and what we're going to do is we're going to refresh our page to see if we can find our article, our new article, which is Salesforce unleashing something, right? Here we go. Here's our article. Salesforce unleashes autonomous AI agents, ushering in the third wave of the AI revolution, right? So there's our blog title. And now we can actually preview our blog title. Let's do that. Here's our blog title, right? And we can see this. So Salesforce unleashes autonomous AI agents, ushering in the third wave of the AI revolution. Imagine that in less than 30 minutes, we have totally created a system that automates writing blog articles to our website without us doing anything. The only thing that would remain for us to do is to schedule that content. Once again, I hope this information has inspired you to go off and create some animated processes that can actually generate revenue. Blog sites are one way to generate revenue. And so this can definitely create a stream of income for you over time. All right. And so we encourage you to explore make.com. There'll be some links in the description below for you to set up your account, and also some extra videos to show you how to set up the integrations between the technologies we covered today. Until next time, thanks for joining.